What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and to another WNBA video. We have a two-game slate to jump into for Thursday, June 5th, so we'll break down and analyze each of those games. We'll talk about which way that I'm leaning as far as the points and the spread, and we'll also go over any player props that I found in those games that I like. But any plays that I put in officially myself, make sure you check down there into the pinned comment. You're going to find a link down there that will send you over to the Guy Boston Sports website. That's where all of my final plays are going to live for free. But before we dive into these two games, let's go ahead and take a look back at Tuesday's plays, what we took and how that ended up going down. We took the Fever on the money line and we cashed on that one. Took a same game parlay of Kiki Arifin 10 plus points and 6 plus rebounds, along with Sonia Citron 10 plus points, and we cashed on that as well. And then we took the Mercury first half plus 7.5 points. They lose by 9, so we do not cash on that one. They were up by 4 after the first quarter. Looking pretty good, right? But we do not end up cashing on that one. So go 2-1 on the night. We are still green on the season, up just over a quarter unit. So we look to build on that momentum into this video here. Let's go ahead and have a good night, guys. Let's jump into our games. We have the New York Liberty taking on the Washington Mystics. Liberty are 12.5-point favorites, total sitting at 163.5. We have a 7:30 p.m. tip-off time for this one. The Mystics back home to begin a three-game homestand, but they have now lost 2 in a row, 5 of their last 6. They sit at 3-5 straight up, 4-4 against the spread. New York, on the other hand, they are still undefeated, 7-0, and then an impressive 5-2 against the number as well. Man, that narrative that they don't cover double-digit spreads well, it's one that I pushed as well to begin this season, man, but that may need to be deaded soon. The Liberty are 3-1 now as double-digit favorites to open up the season. They're on the road here for just one game and then bring a 2-day rest advantage into this one as well over the Mystics. These two just met last Friday in a 22-point, 85-63 New York victory. The Mystics played tough and didn't back down by any means, but offensively, they struggled to find consistency this season. In New York, with all their talent across what seems so far to be the deepest team in the W, they took full advantage of that. New York was up by 10 after one. They held a double-digit lead the rest of the way. They just never lost control of that game at any point. And it makes sense, man. This team leads the league in so many categories, man. It's almost absurd. First in points per game, overall shooting percentage from the field, first for three-pointers made per game, and for three-point shooting percentage, first in assists, first in blocks, offensive, defensive, and net rating, first as well across the board there. Washington, meanwhile, sits at ninth for net rating, and its offensive struggles holding them back in a big way because the defense sits at a respectable seventh for defensive rating, and they are holding opponents to 39% from the field, 29% from deep. That is second in the W in both of those categories. Teams are shooting the fifth lowest percentage from deep against the Liberty, but overall from the field, New York is holding opponents to just 35% shooting and only 71 points per game. Both of those are also first in the W. I still want to be cautious laying this many points, not only with New York, but really anyone, man. But the sample size for the Liberty covering these lines is getting larger, and this is a cup game where point differential matters. But even in that regard, it's like after that annihilation of the Sun, their last time out, I'm not sure how much the point differential is going to factor into this one for the Liberty. Um, Ultimately, though, I'd lead New York here, and I'm just simply trying to figure out how I want to play this one if I do. Is it a spot that I would like look at New York early or just look at them laying the points full game? Because, like I said, we've seen them now, 3 times out of 4 cover these larger numbers. So I don't know. I'm not quite sure yet on this one. This is going to be a check the pin comment one here, guys. But for the total, it's another scenario where the data is screaming under. Both teams are bringing in some under streaks into this one. The Liberty have hit the under in 4 straight games. The Mystics 6 in a row. The thing is, though, this Liberty team completely overwhelmed Washington the last time out, and I'm not sure that I can see it going any other way this time around as well. Washington is the youngest team in the league, and while talented with a lot of pieces to work with, New York is full of veterans, champions, size, and length. So I'd look to see New York do what New York has done to this point in the year so far and put a ton of points up. I'm just not sure I can get behind Washington being able to do the same thing here for the full majority of those 40 minutes of that game. So I'll most likely look at a Liberty team total over here again, much like we've done at multiple points with the Liberty so far. We have cashed 2 out of 2 times with the Liberty team total overs. just because their defense is so superb, but their offense is also so superb. So it's almost like you can trust them to go over their point total, but you can't really ever trust the full game to go over because that defense could step up to that degree. But one thing you can trust as well is the data with Kiki Arifin and Sony Citron because you know I'm going right back to that parlay. We have cashed every single time that we have thrown this in. We have alternated between Kiki at 10 plus points, 6 plus rebounds, and 8 plus rebounds. We've alternated between the rebounds there. I've also kind of switched it up here and there between Sonia Citron, 10 plus points, or 1 plus 3 pointers. We're going to go with Kiki at 10 plus points, 6 plus rebounds, and Sonia at 10 plus points again because the data is beautiful, guys. Kiki has hit the point total here at a 100% rate to start off her career. She has not scored below 10 points at any point yet to open up her career. And then we look at her rebounds as well. We can see that in this 2025 season to open up this year, she has opened up at a 88% rate. 7 of the 8 games she has gone over this line, including the last 7 in a row. The only time she did not go over was in her debut game, only pulling in 4 rebounds against Atlanta. Let's look at Sonia Citron and see her over 9.5 points. She has hit at a 100% rate as well. This is just the last 5. Let's look at the full season. 100% hit rate. So they are crushing these lines here. We can get this at plus. I got it at plus 110 over that FanDuel right now. So if you're going to keep giving me, these 2 players with these 3 props at at reasonable odds, it's now at plus money. Man, look, it's like one of those things where they're bound to not hit it at some point, right? One of them, they're gonna come in single digits on one of these points, right? Or, Kiki's only gonna get 5 rebounds one of these games. It's bound to not hit at some point. I believe it's 5 in a row that we've cashed on this parlay. It may be 6, man. I think it's been a good I'd have to look. I'd have to check back and look again, but, like I said, it's bound to not hit at some point, but a plus money, I gotta throw it out there, man. Until the wheels fall off, we're gonna go ahead and keep riding this one here. I don't know if I sound different again, guys, but I definitely feel like I sound different, man. So much congestion going on right now. Oh my gosh. But hey, just one more game to get through. Let's go ahead and power through this one, man. Golden State Valkyries taking on the Phoenix Mercury. Mercury 7.5 point favorites, total sitting at 157.5. It is starting to move up. We got a 10 p.m. tip-off time for this one. The Mercury are going to be home here, but at a 2-day rest disadvantage. They sit at 5-3 straight up, coming in off of another loss to the Lynx. They are now 4-4 to the number. Valkyries are 2-4 straight up. They are 4-2 against the spread and are on the road here after losing to Minnesota by 11 their last time out. Mercury are 1-2 since losing Alyssa Thomas to a calf injury, and she's listed as a game time decision in this one, as well as Natasha Mack and Megan McConnell. I like the Mercury in a bounce back spot here, but laying 7.5, that, I'm not so sure about, especially how Golden State has been able to cover at the rate that they have. But looking at that just a little bit closer, those covers are coming by way of some pretty large lines, 14.5 twice, and then a 10.5 in there as well. They're actually losing by an average of 15 points per game. I'm just not sure how to get behind the Mercury right now with this mile-long injury list that they have, and then 2 of their 3. Just not sure, how to get behind the Mercury right now with this mile-long injury list that they have. 2 of their big 3 included in that. This offense is really struggling, man. How often do you force 23 turnovers while only turning the ball over 10 times yourself and still lose by 23 as they just did to Minnesota? Well, it's much more likely to happen when you put up 33s and you can only knock in 5 of those for a 16% conversion rate, or when you shoot just 38% overall from the field. Mercury are just ninth for field goal percentage, 10th for 3-point shooting percentage, while the Valkyries sit at dead last in both regards. Phoenix is putting up the 4th fewest points per game, the Valkyrie the 2nd fewest. 5 of the Mercury's 8 games have gone under this year, with one of those that didn't being a push. Golden State went just up and over the number their last game out, but prior to that, they had hit the under in 5 straight games to open up the season. The Valkyries themselves, man, they have failed to hit 80 in 5 of the 6 games played so far. So, first things first, I'll lean under here, but it's one of those games where that line is pretty low, man. I'm not sure that I want to sweat out an underplay here at a 157.5. We'll see. I might get there. We'll see, man. But the Valkyries, though, they have really struggled to score, and Phoenix has consistently played well defensively to start off this year. So definitely looking in that direction. And then as far as the side, I'll lean Phoenix here as I think they'll bounce back, man. I think they get the win regardless of who's in or out as far as those injuries are concerned. But Golden State could potentially get Tiffany Hayes back, which would be huge for them, and would be shying away from an under, if she does end up coming in. I'd have to readjust my thought process there. But if Phoenix, plays up to the level that they are capable of, and that is a big if, ultimately, though, if they are able to do that, they should be able to cover this line here. So I'll lean Phoenix, but I'm not sure that I can get there. And I'm not seeing any player props that I like in this one here. So that is going to wrap us up for this video here, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the content today. Hope you found it helpful and useful. And if you did, please do not forget to smash that like button down there and hit subscribe if you have not already. That's going to do it, man. Hope you guys all cash out. Hope you guys all have a great night, and I will see you back tomorrow for the next one.